Alright, what is up? So today we're back with another video. It's going to be a good one, and this is going to be my personal list as to what the top 5 biggest problems are in UFC 5 and the things that EA need to address immediately in order to make this game a little bit more well balanced and just fun in general, because right now you can tell it's just very stale, whether it be in the striking and you could even argue even more so in the grappling. So yeah, let's get into it. So the first thing I believe that EA do need to fix in UFC 5 is the stamina. And many of you will already know I'm not talking about stamina needs a nerf. We're gonna be talking, or buff. Stamina does need a nerf, and yeah. So they have recently done a patch, which I don't believe covered very much. This is also just a comp fight I had in the background from 1v1 me, but yeah. Um, I don't believe stamina covered too much in the newest patch that they done. You know, as a fighter update, they said they've nerfed long-term stamina. I mean, you can barely notice it, but my biggest problem was that no result was changed through that patch. Like, if you were going to win a fight beforehand, you were going to win it after the patch. You weren't going to ever gas your opponent out and get them to the point where you're actually going to finish them. You know, you were always going to finish your opponent before you gas out, and vice versa. You will get finished before your opponent gasses out. So yeah, I really think that they need to address the long-term stamina, and also you see ridiculous numbers as far as punch and stats go, and kicking stats, and just total strikes, and that is due to also not only the long-term stamina but the short-term stamina, because you can throw so many strikes, you know, back to back to back to back, because the short-term stamina goes down so slow and goes up so quick. That's why we're seeing such high strike counts in between rounds, and also seeing people's block get absolutely ruined. And yeah, it's just causing for not very fun fights. So yeah, we need stamina nerfed majorly. Long term needs to be addressed even more than it already has, and short term really needs to be buffed. Ideally, I would go back to UFC 3 type stamina, where you get punished to the body and you will start, you know, feeling it going into the third and fourth rounds. So yeah, that'll be that for the first one. So yeah, stamina really needs to be addressed, and hopefully they do that in the December patch. So yeah, number 2, I think that needs to be addressed in UFC 5 is the tracking issues, and we all know what I'm on about. This is just going to be touching on this one quickly because it's pretty self-explanatory. You can get tracked way too often and way too easy in UFC 5 at the moment. Whether you're trying to duck a hook, whether you're trying to, pull an uppercut, you're always seemingly getting just tracked on the end of the punches. You'll duck it perfectly and the hook will connect with you and stun you at times, if not just ruin your block and ruin a possible counter opportunity. And then as far as tracking even goes down to the ground, if you have noticed, when you're in full guard, you have a very hard time slipping the straight strikes in ground and pound, especially full guard. You'll be moving your head, and your character just will not move his head, or he will move his head and it will just hit him anyways. He'll veer off to the side and the straight will just track him, and yeah, it'll just lead to you getting ground and pound finished. But yeah, hopefully we can move our heads a little bit more successfully on the feet, and be able to counter a lot better. And as well as that, hopefully uh, we can slip straights on ground and pound, so we can actually survive knockdowns, not everything being a one knockdown and finish. So yeah, that is the second biggest issue in my opinion in UFC 5. The third biggest issue being side control, and to be honest, just stale grappling in general. So if you have been against a good player, you'll know you've been probably taken down into side control once or twice, and that has probably been the game changer in the fight. It's way too easy to hold side control at the moment, and with this new kind of true 60 FPS, they've said it's just the side control is too slow, the denials are too easy, and you can't escape. They need to kind of fix it by speeding up the transitions, and also Romero has suggested negative GA, and that is where I believe it is your opponent's GA doesn't, opponent's when you have high GA, it doesn't make your opponent's grappling transition meter any slower. I could be wrong on that, but I do believe basically when you have high GA, your opponent's grappling will not be any slower now. But also another thing, just make the transitions that bit much quicker, especially with the new 60 FPS. It's so much easier to annoy. And as well as that, I definitely think that they need to kind of you know, at attacks, I think you can, the way once, you know, you hammer somebody out in side control and you just go straight back in the knee and belly and straight back into side control, I feel like it should kind of force a different position after that. I don't think you should be able to kind of, you know, just be able to do that so easily and just hold someone there so easily. So yeah, and also half guard's way too slow and easy. You know, it just doesn't reward enough movement in the grappling at the moment. So yeah, and now the fourth biggest problem. One, I will have an honourable mention at the moment that I completely forgot at the end, and please stick around for that because it is one of my biggest problems in UFC 5 that I just passed my mind. But yeah, number 4 being takedowns. I think you all know what I'm about, or what I'm going to go on about. Takedowns are way too easy to deny. The only way you can get takedowns in this game really are from spears, and how you get takedowns from spears are either when your opponent's short-term stamina is too low. That's not happening this game, or if you get a stun. And obviously if you're using the likes of it, maybe a Jack Hermanson or a lower rated grappler, the likeliness of you getting a stun and a spear off is very low, so they definitely just need to buff takedowns. If you have high grapple advantage, it should be much easier to get takedowns, just like UFC 3. So yeah, just make the transition speed for for takedowns quicker. Grapple advantage should mean more. So if you check a leg kick or if they throw a high kick, you should not be able to deny a takedown when you are mid high kick or mid spinning head kick, but you can in this game. So that needs to be addressed ASAP. And because right now grapplers are just a little bit patched out at the moment, and it's just too hard to get it down to the ground. So yeah, that is my fourth biggest problem in UFC 5 that I believe EA needs to get on straight away. And then for the fifth one, double bails. I think double bails need to be fixed ASAP. It's just the go-to for cheesers at the moment. You can just cheese your opponent as much as you want. You can double bail with no stamina advantage. The fix to this would be reverting back to UFC 4. If you have played UFC 4 for long enough during its earlier state in the game, you'll know that you could double bail just like you could now. You can double bail with 0% short-term stamina advantage. But in UFC 4, when they fix it, I believe you had to have a 30% short-term stamina advantage for your opponent to be able to actually double bail you. Otherwise, it would just go to a failed takedown attempt and they'd be forced to turn the takedown. But right now, they can just shoot a takedown, double bail with no stamina advantage, go to your back, and it's kind of like a 50-50. You know, it's very unfun at the moment. So yeah, EA, please fix double bails. And this one I do not have on the list, but please, EA, fix counter damage for straights, especially. Straight counter damage doesn't do near enough. It's just, you have so many block breakers just coming forward, being able to just throw as much as they want, because even when they get pulled, they just pull your strike. And if you hit them with a pull straight, it doesn't do very much damage, because pull straights do not do anything at the moment, nor do slip straights. So that's why block breaking is as powerful as it is, combined with tracking and stamina. Straight counters do not do enough. Slip straights, pull straights, yeah, they need to be addressed quickly by EA. So yeah, but yeah, that will be the video. If there is anything that I have kind of passed on or missed on, whether it be camera angles, I just, you know, this was mainly the top 5 problems I believed that were in UFC 5. And please let me know what I kind of missed out on, and what are your biggest problems in UFC 5 and what you believe needs fixed. We'll just kind of skip to the end of this fight here. It was a really good fight. Oh, yeah, it was a comp fight that I had in Jakey's leagues and Nugs. Great competitor and easy work, GG. I was controlling the fight up until that point, and I just ducked the head kicks. I knew he needed something big, and he went for something big. It did cost him the fight, but he was going to probably lose the decision anyway, so no shame in going out on your shield. But yeah, once again, if you have liked, a like would be appreciated, and if you haven't already subscribed, would be much recommended that you do so. Appreciate you all for watching once again. And yeah, trying to find my mouse again. Yeah, peace out.